So my name is Liz. I will be turning 43 this month. I'm actually a registered nurse for over 20 years, and I have severe tracheobronchomalacia, EDAC. My trachea is A-frame and not a C, and I think that's all. So my severe tracheobronchomalacia, my understanding is it is a floppy airway. So the cartilage just flops when I exhale and it completely collapses every time I exhale. So it makes me struggle to breathe. Then the A-frame part also compresses as well. So it's very hard for me to breathe every day in life. When I'm out of breath, I will start to cough. I'll start having like stridor, which sounds like I'll start retracting in my neck. I'll start kind of like, it's like hard for you to understand that like I'm talking. I don't notice it a lot. Sometimes my coworkers will notice I'm out of breath and I think I'm totally fine because I just go along with it. It's part of my life. Sometimes I notice I get headaches and I just think it's just, oh, I have another headache today. I get dizzy sometimes, especially when I work out, because when I do cardio, I do cardio at HotWorks, so I do it in a sauna, I do spinning, and then also when I do steps at work, I try to do flights at work with cardio, and then walking in the cold when it gets really cold, and then when it's really hot, and the humidity is really hot, that's when I have trouble and get shortness of breath. If I'm sick, I'll notice I'll get short of breath with just like normal activities, like at home, like going up your steps. I don't carry laundry up my steps. Even now, like my husband will carry laundry up because that extra weight is hard for me to go up the steps. First, I tell myself I can breathe, and I just take a couple good deep breathing, or I do pursed lip breathing. I've gotten myself to do like long inhale and exhales by like 8 and 8. And then now my one provider introduced me to this lovely PEP Buddy, which has been a lifesaver for me because I can work and I can exercise, which everybody should try to exercise, even if it's for 2 or 3 minutes a day. It's amazing to just try for 2 or 3 minutes with your PEP Buddy. It does wonderful things. So that's what I do to try, is to use the PEP Buddy, and it does amazing. I did use the PEP Buddy a lot last year, and I would use it to go to sleep and use it as pressure to sleep, and that was amazing for me. And it would help my anxiety at night because I felt like I couldn't breathe. So it would calm me down and help me get to sleep. I gotta think, sorry. There's like a pressure behind that's pushing on the back of your airway. And part of my issue with the EDAC is the posterior part. So it's the back of the airway, and you can feel the pressure as you exhale. And the long exhale is creating the pressure in the back to keep stinting that airway open in the back. And that's what you can tell, and you can feel it opening up for you. And it's making you slow down your breathing. And I can definitely notice a difference when I exercise and going up the steps when I exercise and like cycling. Even a couple times I have to use it like during yoga and Pilates, depending on if I don't eat good. And you can notice a difference too. Like it really makes a difference. I heard about this from my wonderful provider, Dr. Rachinko, who's been a lifesaver. I was having trouble before one of my surgeries for reflux, and I was having just terrible shortness of breath, and I had to get through work, and I had to get through my day, and I had to get through my nights. And I'll be honest, I don't go to the hospital, so we were trying to figure out some things, and he said he had this wonderful device that I could try to use, and he sent it to my house, and it's been a lifesaver for me, and I still use it to this day. And I have an emergency pack one. I have one in my workout bag, one at work now because we just started doing the steps at work. So I'm very happy that I heard about this, and I'm a big advocate for it. I think my biggest thing is to be an advocate for yourself. I know sometimes it's hard to be a big advocate for yourself and advocate for yourself to your provider. So one, having a good relationship with your provider first, and then advocating like, this one medicine isn't working because of these reasons. This one medicine isn't working. Can we try this, or can I try these things? Like research yourself, like get on and like have a good explanation, maybe why you don't want to do something or why you want to change and do these things. I'm a big advocate. Like I've researched a lot on this disease and on like some of the medicine or holistic things I do for myself for this disease, and it has helped a lot. So the biggest thing is just advocating for yourself, a good provider-patient relationship, to trust each other, and to trust, like, I think your provider needs to trust you too, and you need to trust them. And then also diet. I think diet is a big thing with this disease because a lot of the foods we eat causes a lot of issues with lung disease and with tracheobronchomalacia. Just as simple as carbonation, crackers, Doritos, chocolate, a lot of things you wouldn't think we eat every day. You wouldn't think that is going to affect reflux, which affects your airway, which causes the inflammation, which is why when I did Pilates or yoga a couple times, I could barely breathe. And I'll be honest, like, I texted my husband the other day and I was like, man, I'm so mad. I ate those M&Ms, a couple of M&Ms, and I have chest pain. Well, guess what? It's reflux. And then my throat's hurting and I'm coughing because you eat stuff and that affects lung disease. So like a big thing is, education and diet, which affects lung disease. And then my other thing is just, sometimes like there's holistic ways to treat yourself and to help, but you need to be able to learn those on your own. I've learned this stuff on my own, but I do acupuncture 2 times a week. If I'm sick, I'll go sometimes 4 times a week. And the acupuncturist is extremely certified. He goes all the way around the world and teaches. And then he does cupping too, so the cupping helps. I also will do like lymphatic drainage, so that helps like with the toxins and inflammation as well. Sometimes I'll do the herbs if he suggests. Also, I learned from him for the diet is he's taught me about foods like daikons help with inflammation. This is hard. So I remember this conversation with Dr. Rachinko because I asked about exercising. And I didn't qualify for pulmonary rehab because I was too good, which I was upset. So he sent me a pulmonary rehab video, like a thing. So I found a new gym and I balance it by just trying my best. So as long as I get there and if I cycle for 5 minutes, it's better than not going at all. And sometimes I'll cycle and I'll do it on the lowest speed and just cycle for 15 minutes. So I did it and I made it, but I didn't do really hard, but at least I did that. Now for the rowing, I haven't even got to be able to row for a minute straight yet because it is really hard to row when you can barely breathe. So I practice just breathing real slow and I try to do maybe like 5 in a row and then take a break. And then I try to do like I can do like 7 in a row, take a break. And I have like inspirational music going, like I can do it. And the people there are like, you're doing it. Good job. Good job. So like they're helping me, but I keep just telling like, I can breathe. This is like the floppy airway. It's temporary. Like I know like here in a couple minutes, I'll be able to breathe again. It's just temporary of it being completely still that I can't breathe. So a lot of it is the anxiety, trying to get my anxiety to be like, I can breathe. It's okay. You're getting stronger. Like this is good for your heart. But the good thing is like, I'm not getting chest pain. I'm not getting dizzy. I'm not getting a headache. Like that's how I know I'm okay. So I listen to my body signs and just keep breathing and keep going. Like I'm going to go today to the gym And I can't wait because it's really good for mental health, for your anxiety, for your heart, for your lungs, for everything. Yes, if it wasn't for PEP Buddy, I wouldn't be able to exercise. Like, I would not be able to do any cardio, no steps at work. Like, I wouldn't be able to do like a half flight of steps at work, only to get home to go upstairs to my bedroom or, to go downstairs. But if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be able to exercise because I can't breathe. My goal is just to be strong. And I tell my patients that every day, like, just to be strong, just to try to exercise or walk like one concrete block longer, try to like go up a flight of stairs, try to walk around the block, in your house, like you can like each commercial, just like stand in place, walk in place. And that's what I do if I feel like I can't. Like yesterday during rowing, I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. So I stood up and I just like walked in place and just marched in place and did the breathing. Like, that's what other people can do too. Like, you can do so much more than what you think. And you may not lose weight, but it's like good for your body. And I have to keep telling myself that I just have to be happy with myself. So that's all.